Welcome back to Las Vegas. It's Alex Belfield in Sin City. We've come downtown to one of the most historical and most impressive casinos here in Las Vegas. The Golden Gate Casino is, well, the oldest. It's been here 107 years, and the man who's in charge with all the history is Mark Brandenburg. How are you?
Very well, thank you and welcome.
Mark, thank you so much for having me. And we really are in a little piece of history here where it all started. I mean, the original casino, the original history of Las Vegas started here.
The Golden Gate is the Las Vegas original. We are the oldest hotel and casino. We have been here since the very beginning of Las Vegas. And again, I realize when you talk about history from the British perspective, when you say 107 years old, that might sound a little bit limited. But for us, that puts us in the category of, relatively speaking, of Stonehenge. We've been here since the very beginning.
And there's some wonderful things. I mean, I came through the casino, and there's some odd things where you see a mirror above the gaming tables, and you think, what is that? Well, of course, that was the original security system, wasn't it?
Well, that's right. Now, that was put in the 50s, going back to the Rat Pack era when Frank Sinatra, Sammy Davis Jr., and Dean Martin were here in town, and when they came and they played and drank here at the Golden Gate Casino. In those days, before the technology, you put in two-way mirrors. This one is up in the ceiling over the pit, and somebody had to be up there basically in an attic area on their stomachs looking through binoculars to check the games to make sure nobody was cheating.
Isn't that fabulous? I mean, it's just wonderful. In a way, you sort of wish it was still like that.
Well, and that's why we preserve some of those elements of our building. Rather than just take that two-way mirror out, we wanted to leave that in. We wanted to leave in other artifacts, while at the same time, being Las Vegas and being Las Vegas' most historic, we also wanted to say, look, Las Vegas has always been about cutting edge. This day and age, that means technology. So we had the first HD surveillance system that had been approved by the Nevada Gaming Control Board in our casino, right up there next to those very old two-way mirrors. So we have technology there. We had the first energy efficient elevator in the state. This particular elevator generates energy on the way down. It was the first one in the state of Nevada. So we're very sensitive to having it both ways. We're the most historic, but Las Vegas is about being cutting edge, fresh, fun, contemporary.
What I love about life is it's the circle of life. What goes around comes around. There's been a period where it's all about mid-strip and the Wynn and Encore and Venetian and all of that. And now it seems there's a turn in the tide where people are fed up of having to sort of drive into those huge, massive, great big casinos. Downtown is so much more convenient. It's not on the same scale. And you're keeping up with that by renovating, and you're getting with the times. I mean, we're stood here in the lobby. It's as nice as any of those in the main center of the Strip. That's what you've got to do, isn't it? Keep people coming in and offer them the history at the same time.
Well, and when you talk about convenience, you make a very important point. The convenience doesn't always sound sexy, but when you come downtown to Las Vegas and to our hotel, you find that, hey, that actually means it's fun and easy, and it makes it easier to have fun. That if you want to go somewhere, whether it's from the hotel desk to your room or across the street, it's not like you have to say, time out, we're going to take a half an hour to go across the street, or time out, I need to take 20 minutes just to get up to my desk. The party never stops. You can be sitting in our casino at a blackjack table with a drink in your hand and decide that you want to look outside and see the new light show on our 4-block long, 10-story tall Viva Vision, and you're outside in 30 seconds. And your people watching, and there's a band on stage, and we have our dancing bartenders going on our outside bar, and there's the dancing girls inside. So it's being able to walk and not have to get in your car to go somewhere. It's more intimate, it is boutique, and frankly, it keeps the party going.
And again, I mean, we just stand yards from the bar where Frank Sinatra sat with Sammy Davis. I mean, the history is here. And for those who don't understand the scale of Las Vegas, there's about a 4-mile strip of Las Vegas Boulevard where it starts and ends. They're at one end, basically you're at the other. And again, in terms of scale, these casinos, the new ones that they've built near the MGM and all of those that we've talked about on the program, the Venetian, Mirage, Mandalay Bay, you literally can be 20 minutes from the car park to get to your room. They are so enormous. I mean, and you're really the opposite, the antithesis of it, where you can drive into the parking lot, and Fremont Street is this wonderful 4-block entertainment extravaganza, isn't it?
Well, that's right. And look, those mega resorts are magnificent in their own right, but when you're talking about 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 room hotels. It is something that is very, very different from us. And we had to laugh a little bit when we did our renovation and expansion, because we realized that we were announcing what was the smallest expansion in recent Las Vegas history. We added 16 rooms. They're absolutely beautiful suites, and that gave us a grand total of 122 rooms. So again, we are very intimate. But again, we are also very cutting edge and historical at the same time. And we want to be different. Look, the whole point is, if you want to go to a mega resort, that is there. But this is something that's very different. It's very authentic, and it is original Las Vegas.
We're stood in front of what is basically a museum to this fantastic casino downtown in Las Vegas. And what I think is the most splendid thing of all that I've seen so far is that you had telephone number one, and the telephone number was number one here at the Golden Gate.
The very first telephone in Las Vegas was installed right here at our property. And I like to tell people, and that was in 1907. And I like to tell people that we were a leader in technology even then, going back more than a century ago.
If you were the first telephone in Las Vegas, who did you ring and where were they?
It literally went down Fremont Street to the home of a businessman here in our building, and that telephone number was 2.
Incredible. And as we look down, we've got other artifacts here.
A few other things of interest. We have one of the original gaming ledgers. This particular one is from 1907, and it's showing the 21 game, the blackjack game in those days. And I can see that they had a pretty good day here. On one day, they won $21. It looks like next day they lost $10.65. But you can see some of these original records from back in Las Vegas's earliest days. Also, one thing that I find a lot of fun is the hotel register, where people used to sign in, literally, and sign in those days with beautiful penmanship, but also the local newspaper on a weekly basis would publish the hotel ledger just to let everybody know who was in town. A little bit different from our privacy notions of these days.
Exactly. You wouldn't get away with that today without a court case, would you?
No, you would not. You would not want to.
What's interesting about your casino is that it is a casino. Since then, others have moved it on and they add spas and showrooms and shows. You're back to what Vegas was originally about, which is gaming. Is it still as important for people who come here now to have a go on the slots or play the tables?
Well, absolutely it is, both from an overall environmental experience where you can sit in a place that kind of has that feel where, you know, Frank Sinatra was here a few decades back, but also in terms of what kind of odds are offered. You know, do you pay 3 to 2 on blackjack? Do you get 10 times odds on dice? You know, what about your slot game? So giving people a good gamble, as we like to say here at the Golden Gate, is also very important.
And what that means is that if you go center strip, you're going to win less and you're less likely to win than you would downtown. Your odds are better gambling down here, is that right?
Well, that's right. Out on the strip, most of the mega resorts now pay 6 to 5, which is less than you would get on a blackjack, for example.
So it's also financially in your interest to come down here and have a go.
Absolutely. Your money will take your money will take you further when you come downtown.
We're here today at the Golden Gate Casino, and we're going to go upstairs and sample the rooms and find out how this renovation's going. We're here with Mark, and we'll be back next here at the Golden Gate Casino, Las Vegas.